having a great day. I have a design team project for ASC Craft Supplies, and I will link both of their online stores in the description box below, as well as their VIP Facebook group. And my coupon code is Michelle10 for 10% off any regular price purchase. They do offer free shipping. What I have created today are some 3D tunnel cards, and I followed a tutorial on Graphic 45's YouTube channel, and I'll link it in the description box below. The paper collection that I used is a Graphic 45 Flight of Fancy, and it has these beautiful hummingbirds and butterflies in this watercolor palette. It is so pretty, so much fun to work with the nice spring summery colors. We'll just start with the card here on the left. So I just used some 110 pound cardstock, and then use the beautiful decorative paper and ephemera, and some of the flowers are from ASC as well. And then I did cut some leaves, I think, out with my Cricut, but I just used the ephemera and tucked some flowers in behind there as well. There's like 2 layers in between the front and the back, so I tried to put some items just to give it some depth. But I love the hummingbirds. I think they're so pretty. And then on this one, I felt the blues in the paper. And down here we have the ephemera piece that says, "With brave wings, she flies." It's just fun, and I love the butterflies with the hummingbirds. So just a lot of fun to work with. And I've added some of the butterflies there, and these remind me of peonies. I'm not sure which flowers in the zinnias. And then on the back, I had forgot to show on the first one, is where you could sign the card. For the third one, I just used some of the purples. This one up here says Flight of Fancy, and you can see the leaves and some of the flowers from ASC. And I used one of the chipboard tags here, but I love the trio of butterflies. Then added a few here on the front. I forgot to show the sides of my card. So here you can see some more of the hummingbirds. It's just really, really pretty. So I'll back up here and just show the butterflies on that one. And then on this one, it had some of the same. And I did do a tutorial, so if you would stay tuned. First thing we're going to need is cardstock, 4 pieces that measure 4 by 7 3/4 inches. And we're going to cut a 3/4 inch frame from 3 of those. I have my 3 frames cut, okay? Then we're going to need decorative paper that is 3 7/8 by 7 5/8, and 4 pieces of it cut 5/8 inch frame from 3 of them. Okay, so we're going to have 3 frames like this. And then on the piece we didn't cut a frame from, I have my decorative paper, and then on the back I cut a piece of white cardstock that is the 3 7/8 by 7 5/8. So I have those pieces there. And then we're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 1.5 by 7 3/4, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and I've burnished those really well. And then we'll need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 1/2 inch all the way down and 2 inches all the way down. So what I did was on the, let me see here, let me get it to lay flat. On the 1 inch, I came down about halfway and just ran my score line. And then at 1.5, I'm going to come down and I'm just going to do a little bit of my score line there in the middle. And then on the second one, I'm going to do the same thing. The 1/2 inch all the way down, 2 inches all the way down, and at 1 inch, I'm just going to do a little bit, and at 1.5, I'm just going to do in the middle. I got a little bit out of track there with my 1 inch, and all that will do is help us glue our pieces exactly in the middle. And then you'll need 2 pieces of decorative paper that are 1 3/8 by 7 5/8. Okay, so I wanted to give you the measurements first. I'm going to take our cardstock, that's the 4 by 7 3/4. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to line it up over here at the 3/4 inch mark. Okay, make sure it's lined up all the way. And I'm going to bring my blade down to about the middle of the paper, and I'm going to come up to 3/4 of an inch. I'm looking at the side ruler here, and then I'm going to come down to 7 inches. So that gives me a 3/4 inch line. I'm going to rotate my paper, and I'm going to line it up at 3/4 inch. I'm going to put my blade in the middle, and I'm going to go up to my cut line, or the 3/4 inch, which will be the same. And then I'm going to come down to 3 1/4. Okay. And so now I'm going to rotate to 3/4 inch again. And it looks like I can take my scissors or X-Acto knife and just go in if there's an area that we missed on the corner. So I'm going to raise this up so I can see it. I'm going to go up to the 3/4 inch and my cut line, bring it down to 7 inches, rotate again to the 3/4 inch, put the blade in the middle, come up to 3/4 inch, and then just bring it down to 3 1/4 or your cut line. And so I have a few that are just barely hanging on here in the corner. So I'm just going to take my scissors and be very careful and just snip that tiny little piece like so. Okay, so you're going to do that 3 times, okay? 4 by 7 3/4, and you're going to do this 3 times to get your 3 frames, okay? So I'm going to put that to the side, and now you're going to get your 3 7/8 by 7 5/8 pieces of decorative paper, and now we're going to do a 5/8 inch frame to 3 of these. And the 5/8 inch is, here's your 1/2 inch and your 3/4. It's the longer line coming down. So I'm going to lay this at the 5/8 inch mark, and I'm going to put my blade in the middle. I'm going to come up to the 5/8 inch mark, and I'm going to come down to the 7, and then I'm going to rotate to the 5/8 inch and put my blade up, and then I'm going to come up to 5/8 inch, and I'm going to come down to 3 1/4, and now I'm going to rotate again to 5/8 inch. It's like a tongue twister. And I'm going to come up to 5/8 inch or your cut line. We're going to come down to 7, and then I'm going to rotate it and be at the 5/8 inch again. Blade in the middle, come up to 5/8 inch and down to 3 1/4. And that one came out. So we're going to do that 3 times to your decorative paper. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to glue our decorative to our cardstock frame, as I've already done here. Okay, so we've got our 3 frames. That is the most difficult part of this process. And let me know if you would like to see me glue the decorative paper together. I was just trying to make it faster. So then we have that 4th piece of cardstock that we did not cut the frame out, and I've got my decorative piece on the front and my sentiment or white cardstock on the back. And we're going to bring in our pieces that we have scored. I've already burnished my edges really well, because we're going to take the smaller pieces and we're just going to glue that up against the score line. In the tutorial, she scored it all the way down, but I thought I would just go ahead and do that, because if you open it and line your paper along the bottom and the top, and that score line, it'll be nice and straight. I'm going to take the 1.5 by 7 3/4 piece, and I'm going to put glue in this middle section. And I'm going to turn it to the side here so I can see, and I'm just going to hold this and just place it up against the score line and my pencil mark, and I'm just sliding it down, making sure I have it lined up along the top and the bottom. And if you open up your score lines, this will also fit in the middle. So I'm just going to give that a good burnish. I want that glue to spread out and adhere like so. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. We're just going to put our glue in the middle. I'm going to open it up, and actually we really didn't even need the score lines in the middle. We can just come up to this score line and just line it up in the middle. So just to realize this after making my cards, that works even better. So we found out something easier. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold these over, and I'm going to glue our decorative paper between the score lines. Okay, so we've got those glued. Turn them over, put our pieces back up. I should not have glued that sentiment area on. I totally forgot. I need to glue this piece on here. I'm going to put glue on this first tab and right up to the score line and the edge and down the middle. And I'm going to just put this, line it up along the bottom and right up against that score line, like so. And you want to make sure your paper will fold over so it can lay flat to mail. And then we're going to put glue on this hinge. And I'm going to take one of my middle frames, and I'm just going to line that up along the edge. And I'm just going to burnish that. Okay. And then fold this over. And I'm going to put glue on that next hinge or tab. And take my middle section, and I'm just going to line that up. And I'm going to fold it over, like so. And then I'm going to take the front tab and put glue on it. I'm going to line this up along the score line and the top and the bottom. That looks good. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to put glue, make sure you have your directions going the correct way, and my paper is all facing up. I just had to turn it to make sure it's all going the same orientation where I've moved my paper, my project around so I could see, and a little bit of that score line to show. So I'm going to put glue on this next tab, like so, and I'm just going to pop that up. I just folded it over, and I made sure the tab, I made sure it was on top, and I just pushed it down like so. And then when we pull it back, it is adhered. So now I'm going to put glue on the next tab up. I'm going to make sure this frame is on top of it. It's lined up along the top and the bottom, and I'm just going to push it down like so. And then you can see it's attached, and we'll fold the top tab. And then we'll just fold this over like so. And I'm just going to make sure it lines up along the edge and the top and the bottom, and just give it a nice burnish down. So there we go. That is our tunnel card. That's all there is to it. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would love to hear which card is your favorite. So 1, 2, or 3. Thanks for watching, and hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye.